Oh, sweet bird of legend, bird of life. Killer of my many pains, man, pecking out all my strife. Deliver me from emo, bitch. Fly me to the fucking moon. Give all the ladies a big old dig and all the boys a little span of get. Hey, man, just take 6, man. We're gonna have to comment at the 6 podcast. Look up!
Which, okay, you're going on that one? Cool.
Did I just play Mira?
Yeah, you did. Almost everybody,
Like the space?
like the space station Mir,
Yeah.
which I talked to once on ham radio.
Really?
Was that a weird story?
When you were a kid?
Yeah. My dad, big ham radio guy, so he'd sit there all the time. We had this huge antenna on the house that rotated, like a big, big antenna. Like, I would say it had it looked like a TIE fighter. So it had like this circle, and then on either side of it, it had big squares.
Okay.
And the squares were probably 6 foot by 6 foot.
Wow.
So this is just on top of the house. And it moved. He could move it. He could turn it.
And that was the antenna.
That was the ham radio antenna. And that, sometimes I remember being a kid waking up in the morning just to the sound of the antenna moving.
And when you spoke to the Mira space?
Yeah. Because there was like a ham radio guy on there. I don't remember. It was like, I mean, it was just basic sort of like, where are you
turned
from?
into a signal. Oh, it was actually asking you questions?
Yeah. Because you contact them, you use your call sign, and then you're like,
Okay.
from Lowell, Massachusetts, and they're like, in space.
Are they really in space, or is it like a sex line thing where it's like,
Oh.
you're talking to a hot chick?
What if it was?
Like,
My childhood is ruined again. No, yeah, but it was a cool thing. And then my dad would and then he had, when you make contact with someone, you get these everybody has their own little, calling card type thing made up. I think they're called, what are they called? CQ cards or something like that. And they're just postcard-sized things, and you just mailed them to whoever. So you'd have your own made up with your own design. We'd have your call letter on it.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's call sign was KD1GQ. And it was, it had a little ham radio antenna sticking up out of a map of Massachusetts where Lowell was. And that was the design on his. You could have whatever you wanted on there. Like if you like Batman, you could put a bat symbol on there or whatever. And we got one from the space station.
Oh, so
it was pretty cool.
Card.
We got a Mir card, yeah. And I think my dad might have talked to a space shuttle or two. But I was just never, for some reason, I was never interested.
You weren't interested?
I was like, whatever.
It's not pussy, Dad.
I don't see any tits on these cards, Dad. So yeah, but that was, it was a cool thing. One thing I thought about doing, my dad was big into tropical fish.
Like saltwater?
Freshwater
tropical.
Yeah, so we had a fish tank growing up as a kid, and I just recently had the thought. Well, I'll tell you why I had the thought. I was watching Storage Wars.
Okay.
And they open up a locker, and there's a big giant fish tank in it. And I was like, no live fish in there, just an empty tank. So we're terrarium.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I should check Craigslist and buy a giant aquarium. I rent.
You should
do it anyway.
You should just turn the closet into a fish tank.
I have a number of unused
literally you
closets.
open the door, and there's a wall of glass, and inside of it is all the fish. It'll probably cost
a lot. Yeah.
You won't be able to.
Pretty good idea. It's a pretty good idea. We're gonna work some kicks out.
Admittedly, it'd be pretty cool. I'm not gonna do it either. Or one of the listeners should do it and take a picture.
If you're listening out there and you want to make,
and you don't care about your financial
if you just
future,
if you just want to do some pro bono work for me, just so I can have a bigger fish tank, that'd be fantastic. I would totally appreciate that. But so I was watching Storage Wars, and then I was like, well, maybe I should just get a fish tank.
Yeah, you know what? You know what's really funny?
What?
Not what I'm about to say. Now that I've prefaced it that way. It's strange. I was talking about fish tanks yesterday because my sister was in town with her kids, and so the whole topic of like, I was talking to my brother-in-law, and so he was talking about fish tanks and how it's like you get it, and then like all they want to do is feed it 4 times, and then it basically dies. And I remember I never had a fish tank, and I remember I got one as a gift.
Like how big?
It was.
Oh wow, that's like a 30-gallon tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she got it for me, and I was like, it was my girlfriend at the time, so it was a birthday gift. But I kind of remember.
Is this the girl that loves fish? Or the Grateful Dead?
Yes.
Yeah, seems like something she would get.
And it was like, on the surface, it's immediately really cool. In the present.
Yeah.
The part of you that's like, in the moment, you're like, oh, this is awesome. And then you ultimately, like, then that part of your brain kicks in where it's like you start thinking about, like, how your life will be having one all the time.
So, the thought that most people give to having children, you then put on having a fish tank.
Yeah, exactly. Where I'm like, it's great in the moment.
Yeah.
But then it's like, there's poop and algae, and you gotta clean the whole thing out.
Yeah, and then you get like a specific fish that eats algae. You gotta get like an algae eater.
It's a lot of work. You're creating an ecosystem.
Yeah, essentially.
I want a turnkey one that I like literally like once a month. They're like, and once a month you've gotta like rub your hand on the glass.
So you essentially would like an ant farm, right? Do you
I don't
feed
know.
an ant farm? I have no idea.
Well, they're
trapped in
trapped in
glass.
glass.
You
You
have
have
to
to
feed an
drop
ant
some
farm.
food in there.
I thought they just fed off the dead.
They just eat each other. You're like, now I have literally an ant farm. I have one ant. The toughest ant.
If it's
I was,
pregnant.
I was listening to a show. I was listening to Radio Lab.
Uh-huh. Great show.
And they were talking about the Argentine ants, the invasion of like ants from a certain part of Argentina.
Have made it to America?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
everywhere.
dear. Are these
They're
particularly
literally
are they
like
aggressive?
global.
Like,
They're super aggressive, and the reason they think that they're starting to become like they're starting to take over because they basically grew up in this part of the world where it's like there was multiple types of ants, and it was literally like fight or die. So like it's like literally the world's toughest ants. They're literally just like, I'm gonna fuck you up, and then we'll talk later. Like no, it's just like attack. They are constantly fighting, so they come in here, and I think it's like they come in here, and the American ants are like, "Hey man, picnics." And it's all picnics, man.
So
And they just tear them to pieces.
it's like letting out the most hardened of criminals.
Yeah, and we have them. We have them in our backyard because I had a Terminix because we had rats,
Yeah.
and on the report it said Argentine ants.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Are they are they brutal to humans? Do they bite?
they haven't attacked me yet.
Like at dogs.
Yeah, they haven't attacked the dogs. I don't think anybody's.
You got nothing to worry about then.
I don't think.
If the Argentine ants are really just a problem for ants, then I'm okay.
It's true. They fight other ants. And the reason they figured it out is that these colonies are like, if you put an Argentine ant and a non like this one colony has spread around the world, and so if you take an Argentine ant from LA and like maybe from another country, if you put them in, they won't attack each other. But if it's a different group of ants,
shit.
they will fucking get it on. And the Argentine ant will be like, I got nothing to lose, man.
I'm playing for keeps. That's weird and terrifying. Like
I think people are we're in like a glass radio booth.
yeah, we are. You can look at us.
And everybody has the same, but everyone has the same look of like, why are the behind the scenes guys?
Those guys are obviously.
Yeah, they're obviously testing the equipment, right? Why?
That would be really cool if like we worked for a radio station and then every so often we had our own radio show, but it never went anywhere. It was
Does
just for
anyone
us.
even have radio shows?
I don't know.
Radio shows exist.
I guess it would be like Kevin doing the emo Kev thing, where like you're doing this thing for no one to ever hear.
But that was not. But what's amazing about it, and if anyone listening,
Yeah, check out
if anyone is
SModcast.
listening,
Yeah.
and you don't listen to SModcast, Kevin and I have been week by week
The best thing in the world.
revealing. Kevin like recorded like I think almost like an hour. It was an hour of of him speaking into a tape recorder when he was 20 years old.
It's still funny. You described it. It's funny.
I mean, it's so... I've never laughed so hard in my life.
Yeah,
I mean, like, I genuinely, like, we'll do, like, 15 minutes and then just sort of talk about it. And I mean, he said some stuff that's, like, just fucking killed me.
I've never laughed so hard at a podcast as I have at Emo Cap.
It's like you just are waiting for the next thing he's going to say. I think what's amazing about it is, like, it is this, like, it's like, if you were sitting there, well, number one, it's like everyone in their 20s thinks that is trying to, it's like you've left high school, you're trying to be a much deeper, more intellectual person, than you really are, and you're sort of like, now you're thrust out into life and you're just sort of looking at it in its own way. But I think when you do listen to it, like, there was obviously a part of him that thought he was that it was for an audience, because it's like he sort of addresses the audience on one level.
It's just, when you listen to it, if you have listened to it and you don't wish that you had your own copy of your own tape, then you're an idiot. Because that would be amazing to listen to.
I would love to listen to my 20-year-old self.
Just, I can't even imagine what the things I would say.
I mean, it's like he said all the things that you were thinking.
Yeah.
And then the idea is, like, if you tried to put into words what you were thinking at that age, like, it would have the same, like, but I also feel like Kevin, it's like there's that Kevin, like, trying to find his, like, you hear it, like, I watch him, like, he's rewriting himself.
Yeah. He's
like,
trying to find the right words.
Yeah, he's
to say to a tape recorder.
Yeah.
Just like, and the thing that cracked me up, I think my favorite part of so far of what we've heard, is him on the bicycle riding home from work.
Yeah.
And then he starts talking about how he talked to his friend's parents.
Yeah. Joe Paulo.
Joe Paulo.
Yeah.